All right, now let's get some expert perspective on this. We are being joined by Dilip Cherian, who is a political campaign advisor. Mr. Cherian, good to see you again on WION. What are your takeaways? Any surprises for you, or were you expecting this more or less?
I think it's gone on the lines that most people had expected. The big message that Narendra Modi is sending out is that he recognizes there are 2 new pilots on board his cockpit, and therefore he wants to make sure that his ship of state is steered along predictable lines with the comfort that those in charge of their old portfolios will largely be retained in that space. So that is why the Big Four has seen no space. Also, he has had to accommodate 2 or 3 fairly big names from the party, i.e. 2 former chief ministers, Manohar Lal Khattar and Shivraj Chauhan, as well as a former party president. And he's given them portfolios that look like they need management and seniority. So I think it's largely on the expected lines. And the fact that the allies have asked for or, expected certain portfolios which they've historically been enthused about, I think has worked very well in terms of allocating portfolios to them. Right. No surprises here.
All right, Mr. Cherian, talking of the cabinet ministers, 61 coming in from the BJP and rest of 11 coming from the other NDA alliance members. Do you think this well represents the power dynamics at play right now in this government?
I think in general, one would have expected maybe instead of 11, it could have been 14, but that's quibbling at the edges.
Right.
Does this lead for a stable government? The answer is yes. Just the kind of thing that India needs at the moment, because coalition governments, remember, in terms of the economic growth, have always delivered higher value in India than single party governments. So people's expectations are actually higher of this government, and therefore key ministries have to be in the hands of experienced people. And I think Narendra Modi has done very well in making sure that he ensures, even for example, a ministry like Telecom, where he has placed a young and dynamic Jyotiraj Scindia.
Right.
And he's made sure that that aviation is also in the hands of a young and dynamic minister from one of the partners. So, the choice of people has been keeping in mind the tone and tenor of the ministries in terms of the future orientation. I think that maybe 1 or 2 more entrants will come in over a period of time, and therefore you find 1 or 2 ministers with what are called double-barrel occupations at the moment.
All right, before I let you go, Mr. Cherian, very quickly, you talked at length about what people are expecting and how they are expecting much more from this government. How do you think this NDA government in the next 5 years is going to be different than the last 2 that we saw?
I think there's going to be a lot of cooperative federalism in practice. Because you have a partner from the south and you have one partner from the east, you will find that this orientation of the country's policies, national policies, will see a certain dynamism and change, which is good, because any monolithic structure tends to think only in one way.
All right, Mr. Cherian, good to see you again, and thank you so much for getting us all those insights.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.